The bustling streets of Rio de Janeiro were alive with the rhythm of samba and the vibrant pulse of the city's nightlife. J-Cat moved through the crowd with the grace and agility of a panther, his senses heightened and his mind focused. His mission was simple: intercept a clandestine exchange involving a powerful drug cartel and a corrupt politician. Yet, the absence of Alana by his side left a void that was hard to ignore. J-Cat arrived at the luxurious Copacabana Palace Hotel, where the exchange was set to take place during an exclusive gala. He blended in effortlessly with the elite crowd, his sharp tuxedo and confident demeanor masking the danger that lurked beneath the surface. As he scanned the room, his eyes fell on Patricia Duarte, a strikingly beautiful Brazilian heiress known for her wild and unpredictable nature. Patricia's dark eyes met J-Cat's, and a mischievous smile played on her lips. She approached him with a predatory grace, her presence magnetic. "You must be new in town," she purred, her voice a sultry whisper. "I'm Patricia. And you are?" "James." J-Cat replied smoothly, adopting his alias. "Pleasure to meet you, Patricia." Patricia's gaze lingered on him, her curiosity piqued. "Care to join me for a drink? I could use some interesting company." J-Cat knew better than to get too involved, but he needed to stay close to the action. He followed her to a secluded corner of the ballroom, where the conversation flowed as freely as the champagne. Patricia was captivating, her beauty and charm impossible to ignore. Yet, beneath her allure, J-Cat sensed a hint of danger. As the night wore on, Patricia led J-Cat to a private terrace overlooking the shimmering coastline. The moonlight cast a seductive glow on her features as she leaned in closer. "Tell me, James," she whispered, her breath warm against his ear. "What brings you to Rio?" J-Cat maintained his composure, his mind racing to keep his cover intact. "Just business," he replied, his voice steady. "And a bit of pleasure, if I'm lucky." Patricia's laughter was a melodic sound, tinged with a hint of intrigue. "Well, perhaps I can help with that." She traced a finger along his jawline, her touch sending a shiver down his spine. "Come with me." They slipped away from the gala, venturing into the labyrinthine corridors of the hotel. J-Cat's instincts screamed caution, but Patricia's allure was undeniable. She led him to a lavish suite, where the ambience was set with dim lighting and soft music. As the door closed behind them, Patricia turned to him, her eyes smoldering with desire. "You intrigue me, James," she murmured, her fingers deftly undoing the buttons of his shirt. "There's something about you that I can't quite figure out." J-Cat caught her wrists gently, his eyes locking onto hers. "Maybe some things are better left a mystery," he said, his voice a low rumble. Patricia's smile was a wicked curve of her lips. "I do love a good mystery," she replied, her hands slipping free to explore his chest. Just as the tension between them reached its peak, the door burst open, and a group of armed men stormed in. J-Cat reacted instantly, pulling Patricia behind him and drawing his concealed weapon. The room erupted into chaos, bullets flying as J-Cat took down the assailants with lethal precision. When the dust settled, J-Cat turned to Patricia, who stood wide-eyed and breathless. "Who are they?" she demanded, her fear evident. "Friends of your enemies," J-Cat said, his tone grim. "And now they know I'm here." Patricia's expression hardened with resolve. "Then we need to move. Follow me." They navigated through secret passages and hidden doors, Patricia's knowledge of the hotel proving invaluable. As they reached a secure location, she turned to J-Cat, her demeanor shifting from seductress to strategist. "I have resources. Allies. If we're going to survive this, we'll need to work together." J-Cat nodded, respect for Patricia's resilience growing. "Agreed. But we need to stay one step ahead." The partnership that formed was born of necessity and forged in the heat of danger. Together, they devised a plan to thwart the cartel's operation and expose the politicians' corruption. Their nights were spent in a whirlwind of strategy and passion, their connection deepening with each passing moment. The final showdown came at dawn, as they confronted the cartel leaders in a dramatic rooftop battle. With Patricia's help, J-Cat managed to outmaneuver their enemies, bringing justice to those who thought themselves untouchable. As the sun rose over Rio, casting a golden glow on the city, J-Cat and Patricia stood side by side, victorious but not unscathed. Patricia turned to him, her eyes reflecting both gratitude and something deeper. You saved my life, James. J-Cat took her hand, his grip firm and reassuring. We saved each other. Their mission complete, they parted ways, knowing their paths might cross again. As J-Cat boarded a plane back to his life in Alana, he couldn't shake the memory of Patricia's fiery spirit. The adventure in Rio had left an indelible mark, a reminder that in the world of danger and intrigue, unexpected alliances could be as thrilling as they were perilous. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over Rio de Janeiro as J-Cat made his way through the vibrant streets. After the recent chaos and danger, he decided to stay a little longer and indulge in the city's luxuries. His thoughts kept drifting back to Patricia, the enigmatic woman he had met during the mission. They had an undeniable connection, and J-Cat was curious to explore it further. Patricia was a vision of elegance and sophistication, her sense of fashion impeccable. She was more than just a pretty face, she was intelligent, witty, and shared J-Cat's love for stargazing. That evening, they met at the exclusive Fasano Hotel, known for its stunning views and refined atmosphere. As J-Cat arrived, Patricia greeted him with a radiant smile. She wore a flowing silk dress that accentuated her graceful figure, her dark hair cascading in loose waves. You look stunning, J-Cat said, his eyes admiring her beauty. And you, as dashing as ever, Patricia replied, her gaze lingering on J-Cat's tailored suit. Shall we? They strolled through the hotel's chic interior, eventually settling at a table overlooking the ocean. The ambience was perfect, with soft candlelight and the gentle sound of waves creating a romantic setting. They ordered a selection of the finest dishes, savoring each bite while engaging in lively conversation. Tell me more about your love for stargazing, Patricia said, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. J-Cat smiled, leaning in closer. It's something I've always found fascinating. The vastness of the universe, the mysteries it holds. It's humbling. And I find peace in it. Patricia nodded, her expression thoughtful. I feel the same way. There's something magical about looking up at the stars and realizing how small we are in the grand scheme of things. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, their shared interests creating a deep connection. As they finished their meal, Patricia suggested they head to Pedra da Gavea, a famous rock formation known for its breathtaking views of the city and the stars above. The drive up the winding road was filled with anticipation. Upon reaching the summit, they were greeted by a panoramic view of Rio, the city lights twinkling like stars below them. Patricia spread out a blanket, and they lay side by side, gazing up at the night sky. It's beautiful, Patricia whispered, her voice filled with awe. J-Cat turned to her, his heart swelling with emotion. Not as beautiful as you, he said softly, his hand finding hers. They lay there for hours, pointing out constellations and sharing stories. The intimacy of the moment was profound, their bond growing stronger with each passing second. As the night deepened, they found themselves wrapped in each other's arms, the world around them fading away. The next day, Patricia took J-Cat on a tour of Rio's fashion district. She introduced him to some of the city's most renowned designers, showcasing the latest trends and styles. J-Cat was impressed by Patricia's keen eye for fashion and her ability to navigate the world of high couture with ease. They visited boutiques, tried on luxurious outfits, and even had a private fitting with a famous designer. Patricia looked stunning in every ensemble, her confidence and poise shining through. J-Cat couldn't help but admire her even more, appreciating her passion and expertise. Later, they dined at Apraziville, a restaurant known for its exquisite Brazilian cuisine and stunning views. They enjoyed a leisurely meal, the flavors and aromas tantalizing their senses. J-Cat marveled at how easy it was to be with Patricia, their connection growing deeper with each shared experience. As night fell once again, they returned to Pedra da Gavea, eager to repeat their stargazing ritual. This time, the air was filled with the scent of jasmine, adding to the romantic ambience. Patricia snuggled closer to J-Cat, her warmth and presence soothing. I could get used to this, J-Cat murmured, his lips brushing against Patricia's temple. Me too, Patricia replied, her voice a gentle caress. There's something about being with you that makes everything feel right. They kissed under the starlit sky, their passion igniting like a supernova. The world around them disappeared, leaving only the two of them in a cocoon of love and desire. Each kiss, each touch, was filled with promise and longing, their connection transcending the physical. The days that followed were a blur of fashion shows, gourmet dining, and stolen moments of intimacy. J-Cat and Patricia's bond deepened, their shared adventures creating memories that would last a lifetime. They explored Rio's hidden gems, danced the night away at exclusive clubs, and lost themselves in each other's embrace. As their time in Rio drew to a close, J-Cat knew that this was more than just a fleeting romance. Patricia had become a part of him, her presence filling a void he hadn't realized existed. They promised to stay in touch, their hearts entwined even as they prepared to go their separate ways. J-Cat watched Patricia walk away, her silhouette disappearing into the distance. He felt a pang of longing, but also a sense of hope. Their paths would cross again, he was sure of it. For now, he had the stars to guide him, their light a reminder of the love and adventure that awaited him, both in the world and in Patricia's arms. As Patricia's silhouette disappeared into the distance, a surge of emotion overwhelmed J-Cat. He wasn't ready to let her go. Without a second thought, he called out to her. "Patricia, wait." She stopped and turned around, her eyes wide with surprise. J-Cat jogged towards her, his heart pounding. "I can't leave you," he said, his voice filled with conviction. "Not yet." Patricia's face softened, and a smile slowly spread across her lips. "I was hoping you'd say that," she replied, her voice tinged with relief. They decided to spend the day exploring Rio together, without any plans or agendas. The city was their playground, and they wanted to make the most of every moment. They started with a visit to the famous Jardim Botanico, strolling hand in hand through the lush gardens, the air filled with the scent of exotic flowers. "I've always loved this place," Patricia said, her eyes sparkling as she looked around. "It's like a little slice of paradise." J-Cat squeezed her hand, his heart swelling with affection. "It is beautiful," he agreed, his gaze never leaving her face. "But it's nothing compared to you." Patricia blushed, her cheeks turning a delicate shade of pink. They found a secluded spot under a canopy of trees and sat down, the world around them fading away. They talked about their dreams, their fears, and the future they both hoped for. As the afternoon sun began to set, they made their way to Copacabana Beach. The golden sands and azure waters were the perfect backdrop for their romantic adventure. They kicked off their shoes and walked along the shore, the waves gently lapping at their feet. "I never imagined I'd find someone like you," Patricia said, her voice soft and sincere. "You've changed my life in ways I can't even begin to describe." J-Cat stopped and turned to face her, his eyes filled with emotion. "And you've changed mine," he replied, his hand cupping her cheek. "You've given me something I didn't even know I was missing." They kissed under the fading sunlight, their love and passion igniting like a fire. The world around them ceased to exist as they lost themselves in each other, their connection growing deeper with every touch. That evening, they dined at a secluded beachfront restaurant, the ambience intimate and romantic. The flickering candlelight cast a warm glow over their faces as they shared a meal, the food and wine enhancing their senses. They laughed, talked, and stole kisses, savoring every moment of their time together. After dinner, they returned to their hotel suite, the night still young. The view from their balcony was breathtaking, the city lights twinkling like stars. J-Cat pulled Patricia into his arms, their bodies fitting together perfectly. "I don't want this night to end," Patricia whispered, her breath warm against his neck. "Then it won't," J-Cat replied, his voice husky with desire. "We'll make the most of every second." They made love under the moonlit sky, their passion and desire creating an unforgettable night. The stars above seemed to shine brighter, as if celebrating their union. Every touch, every kiss, was a promise of the love and adventure they would share. The next morning, they woke up in each other's arms, the soft light of dawn filtering through the curtains. J-Cat watched Patricia as she slept, her face serene and beautiful. He knew that this was just the beginning of their story, a new chapter filled with excitement, love, and endless possibilities. "Wake up, beautiful," he whispered, pressing a gentle kiss to her forehead. Patricia stirred, her eyes fluttering open. She smiled when she saw him, her heart swelling with love. "Good morning," she said, her voice filled with warmth. "Good morning," J-Cat replied, his hand caressing her cheek. "I was thinking, how about we stay in Rio a little longer? There's so much more I want to experience with you." Patricia's eyes sparkled with joy. "I'd love that," she said, her smile radiant. "Let's make the most of our time together." And so, J-Cat and Patricia embarked on a new adventure in Rio, their love and bond growing stronger with each passing day. The world was full of danger and intrigue, but as long as they had each other, they were ready to face whatever came next. Their journey was far from over, and with every step they took, they knew they were creating memories that would last a lifetime. J-Cat and Patricia embarked on a new adventure in Rio, their love and bond growing stronger with each passing day. The vibrant city offered a mix of excitement, romance, and danger, making it the perfect backdrop for their passionate journey. Their days were filled with exploration and excitement. They visited the iconic Christ the Redeemer statue, taking in the breathtaking views of the city. As they stood on the platform, the wind whipping around them, J-Cat wrapped his arm around Patricia's waist, pulling her close. "This view is incredible," he whispered in her ear, his voice filled with awe. Patricia leaned into him, her eyes shining with happiness. "It is," she agreed, "but it's even better because I'm sharing it with you." They continued their adventure with a visit to the vibrant Celeron steps, each tile telling a unique story. Patricia couldn't resist taking photos of the colorful mosaic, while J-Cat watched her with a smile, captivated by her enthusiasm. "You have a way of making everything more beautiful," he said, his voice filled with admiration. Their nights were equally enchanting. They dined at the finest restaurants, savoring the flavors of Brazilian cuisine. One evening, they found themselves at a rooftop bar, the city lights twinkling below them. The soft strains of bossa nova music filled the air, creating an intimate atmosphere. J-Cat took Patricia's hand, leading her to the dance floor. They moved together, their bodies swaying in perfect harmony. "You dance like a dream," Patricia said, her voice a soft murmur against his ear. "It's easy when I have the perfect partner," J-Cat replied, his lips brushing against her temple. Their love was a powerful force, but the world around them was still full of danger and intrigue. One afternoon, as they strolled along Ipanema Beach, J-Cat received a cryptic message on his phone. "We need to be careful," he said, his expression serious. "There's someone watching us." Patricia's eyes widened, but she trusted J-Cat completely. "We'll face it together," she said, her voice steady. "Whatever it is, we'll handle it." That night, they returned to their hotel, their senses heightened. J-Cat secured their room, ensuring that they were safe from any threats. Patricia watched him, her heart swelling with love and admiration. "You're my protector," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "And you're my strength," J-Cat replied, pulling her into his arms. "As long as we're together, nothing can stop us." Their passion ignited once more, their love making the night feel magical. As they lay in each other's arms, the moonlight casting a soft glow over their bodies, they knew that their bond was unbreakable. The following days were a blend of romance and excitement. They visited Sugarloaf Mountain, taking the cable car to the summit. The panoramic view of Rio was stunning, and Patricia couldn't help but feel overwhelmed by the beauty of it all. "I wish this moment could last forever," she said, her voice wistful. J-Cat kissed her gently, his heart full of love. "In a way, it will," he said. "These memories will always be with us." Their adventure took a thrilling turn when they discovered a hidden samba club in the heart of the city. The music was infectious, and the dancers moved with a fiery passion. J-Cat and Patricia joined in, their movements synchronized and fluid. The energy of the club was electric, and they lost themselves in the rhythm, their bodies moving as one. Afterwards, they walked through the streets of Rio, the city's vibrant nightlife surrounding them. They stopped at a small, cozy cafe, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filling the air. Patricia leaned her head on J-Cat's shoulder, feeling a deep sense of contentment. "I never want this to end," she said softly. "It doesn't have to," J-Cat replied, his voice tender. "As long as we're together, every day is an adventure." Their journey in Rio was far from over, but they knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them side by side. Their love was a powerful force, a beacon of light in a world filled with uncertainty. And with each step they took, they created memories that would last a lifetime, their hearts forever entwined in a bond that could never be broken. After the exhilarating night at the Samba Club, J-Cat and Patricia walked through the lively streets of Rio, the city's nightlife surrounding them in a warm embrace. They stopped at a small, cozy cafe, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filling the air. Patricia leaned her head on J-Cat's shoulder, feeling a deep sense of contentment. "I never want this to end," she said softly. "It doesn't have to," J-Cat replied, his voice tender. "As long as we're together, every day is an adventure." They sipped their coffee, the world around them fading away. In that moment, it was just the two of them, their hearts beating in sync. They talked about their dreams, their fears, and their future together. The bond they shared was undeniable, a powerful force that would guide them through whatever lay ahead.